Hey everyone, today I'm going to be working on this commuter bike I just built up just a few days ago. I took it out and it rode pretty terribly on the first ride, so I'm going to be changing the height of the handlebars as well as fixing some of the gearing. It's this late 90s Killer V-900. It's all aluminum, it's pretty light, I like it a lot, but yeah, it did not ride great. I was hunched over and not having fun. There's a little pusheen on it. Um, so yeah, to start out with, I got a tape measure out and just measured the seat to the handlebars. I don't know if this is like officially the way to do it but I don't know. I have a fixed gear bike that I built up that's fitted to me perfectly, and so I'm gonna bring that in a sec, and I just kind of compared the two lengths. Not that they're gonna be the same at all. I mean, it's two completely different kinds of riding styles and bikes, but just to touch base a bit from something that I like that's sort of comfortable to, yeah, base it off of. Interestingly, the length from the seat to the handlebars on the fixed gear was about 28 inches, which was the same as my armpit to the tips of my fingers. I don't, maybe that's a science to it or something. I don't know, but I thought that was like a fun coincidence and probably said something to this measuring, but I don't know. So to raise the height of the handlebars, I'm just going to be flipping the stem. It's got a 5-degree angle to it, so if I flip it over, it'll point more up and yeah, give me a little more height in the handlebars. Yeah, I didn't want to redo any of the cabling or anything, so I just popped off the front of the stem. Luckily, yeah, it's a front mount, so it's really easy to just pop off the handlebars by taking the front plate off. The handlebars are the monkey bars by Eaton, so they have some rise to them as well as some back sweep, just a little bit, which is nice. I put some 50 millimeter extenders on the end, just because I like the extra width. I know people can not trust those or something, but I've not had any issues with them. And yeah, they just are an easy way to get a slightly wider handlebar. So while the handlebars and stem were off, I took time to clean the spacers. They were just covered in some old grease. I had found this bike in a basement at my old job. There was a parking agency that impounded a bunch of bikes and then didn't pick them up, so they got moved to this basement, and it's been there for how long? I don't know. Could be since the 90s. Yeah, but it's a pretty sick frame, and it was just rotting away. So I thought might as well fix her up and get it out back on the streets. So while I'm completing this super exciting task, I wanted to talk a bit about this frame. So it's obviously a triple triangle, but not in the conventional sense where the seat stays are sort of mounted to the top tube. It's got this little triangle in the front by the steer tube, and that was supposed to give you a lower standover height while still stiffening that area. It works pretty well. I mean, it's got a really nice low standover height, um, and yeah, just it makes this really fascinating design that you don't see. So yeah, and then there's the stem back on, mounting it so it's upwards, and yeah. So you can see I sat here a while just staring at the stem. It's not my most favorite looking when this stem sort of points upward very dramatically. Um, but I think this is going to just end up being an exercise in form over function. Yeah, it is much more comfortable when this is up and sort of more close to my body than when it's down and far away. I'm sure I'm losing some kind of roady aero gains, but that's not why I'm into cycling. And I think, yeah, it's good to sometimes realize that things don't always have to look pretty to work well, especially as a artist and a maker. So if you click this video looking for a tutorial, this is probably not the best video for that. It's a terrible camera angle on my tiny balcony. But it's pretty simple to do this at home. The main thing is just making sure your top cap, which, oh no, I'm measuring again. Well, once I put the top cap back on, it's just making sure that it's tight enough that your headset isn't sort of wobbling all over the place. That can lead to your bike really not feeling sort of sturdy and safe, and just mess with your handling. A little bit of wobble's probably fine, but yeah, just making sure that that's tightened correctly. Same with this front plate. Since it has two bolts, you want to make sure that it's parallel with the mounting surface. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and the handlebars keep falling over. But it's just trying to make sure that those two are parallel. That'll just make sure you're not deforming or grabbing the tube of the handlebars in a weird way. I'm also rolling the handlebars a bit forward since they have that little bit of back sweep. If I tilt them forward, it also gives me some up sweep, which can be nice when you're leaning over the bars, like I'd like to do in my riding position. It just makes it feel like your hands aren't really digging in, like your palm. I don't know how it works. Again, I'm not a mechanic. I just sort of mess around with bikes, but it feels much more comfortable when there's that little bit of upsweep, just to keep your hands in place as you're resting over the bars. Oh, and then here I'm tightening that top cap down. You also don't want it to be too tight, otherwise you'll just eviscerate the bearings in your headset. But so yeah, finding that happy medium of not wobbly but also not overly tightened. So I normally ride fixed gear bikes, but I just moved to a new city, and I wanted something that was a little slower, a little more reliable, a little less fun, if I guess is the best word for it. And I think this is shaping up to be the perfect vehicle for that. I'm trying to learn the routes and learn the city, not just from a sort of get there as fast as possible view, but also just what's comfortable and what's there that's nice and pretty, and not the first and definitely not the last person to say this, but the feeling of riding open air on a bike is just, you get to experience so much more than being stuck in a car or going place to place just in a bus confined to roads. There's, yeah, so much more freedom, which I really enjoy, and I'm hoping this bike will give me. And then here is the side view with that new stem angle. So I recorded like 30 minutes of me fixing the gears. It's hard to catch on video, but there's a significant wobble in the crank arm. I don't know if it's in the crank arm or the bottom bracket, but it's made fixing the gears really difficult. And yeah, I just didn't want to spend 30 minutes commentating over me going back and forth. But they work fine now, but I think I'll have to replace these cranks at some point. So my camera ended up dying, but I put these GT cages on the pedals with reflectors. It's fun to do dumb stuff on bikes, but I don't understand people that take off the reflectors all the way. I feel like that's just why. This extra danger for no reason. And then, yeah, I am replacing the seat. It was a really small seat. This is a nice chromo vector something. I got it from my bike co-op, but I had to uh, just put a new reupholster it, I guess. It's really, really terrible job of it. You can see the staples across the back. This is actually off my old Tracklow bike. I don't really know the gravel pass or anything in this new city, so it's just no point of having it built up. I think I might take it apart, maybe build like a trick track or something. Um, yeah, it's it's a nice, comfy seat. It's very long, sort of supportive, especially I guess, yeah, for longer rides. And if I'm going to be carrying things, I want a solid base to sit on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to ripping this through the streets. It's a pretty nimble frame, and very light. Even with the racks, it's still I think under 20 pounds. Which I mean, for I guess modern bikes, that is egregiously heavy. But this is the 90s mountain bike. I mean, I feel like that's pretty class for that. It's also got those Shimano dual action servo levers or whatever, servo wave, where you can change the modulation. Um, so that's pretty neat. Um, yeah, this is a pretty fun bike, and I'm hoping this will make riding it more enjoyable because, yeah, it really sucked to get out of this like fresh bike and then just for it to yeah, suck to ride it. It was pretty terrible. Um, yeah, I also maybe want to change the gearings. One by is so overdone. I feel like if you're gonna have gears, have as many as possible. But maybe I'll do like a one by Street Fighter sort of deal. Might be less maintenance overall. Um, I don't know. We'll see. And then Pizza Cat goes back on, and yeah, there it is. So yeah, I think even with the more orthopedic stem, it still looks pretty sick. The frame definitely carries it. But yeah, pretty happy with it. Can't wait to take it out on a ride. Bye.